Have you ever woken from a dream falling into the void, running from something invisible, or flying over unknown cities? These dreams aren't simply creations of the mind. They carry hidden messages about your spiritual, emotional, and even karmic state. Get ready. What we're about to reveal could transform the way you view each night's sleep. Dreams about falling are more common than you might think, but their meaning transcends any superficial explanation you've ever heard. Contrary to popular belief, they don't simply indicate insecurity or fear of failure in waking life. Edgar Cayce revealed a disturbing truth. Falling in a dream can reveal a soul trying to free itself from invisible chains tied to ancestral fears or past wrong choices. Each fall is, in fact, an urgent alert from higher consciousness, calling for balance and connection with one's true spiritual essence. When you plummet into the dream world, your soul is experiencing a form of purification, a painful but necessary process of energetic cleansing. The emptiness you feel during the fall isn't just terror. It's the sacred space where old limitations are dissolved. Cayce interpreted these dreams as moments when the spirit attempts to break down barriers you've built over multiple lifetimes. The feeling of despair during the fall is proportional to the attachment you maintain to old ways of being that no longer serve you. What's most striking is that the fall never ends with death in the dream, but always with a sudden and violent awakening. This interruption is no coincidence. It's your soul signaling that it's not yet ready for complete transformation, that there's still work to be done. The emotional impact you feel upon waking is the echo of a spiritual lesson being planted in your consciousness. Cayce asserted that those who frequently dream of falling are going through an intense period of inner growth, even if this isn't obvious in waking life. The height of the fall also carries specific meaning. The higher you fall, the greater the distance between who you are and who you could become. Falls from cliffs symbolize great spiritual transformations approaching, while falls from small heights indicate smaller but equally important changes. The surrounding scenery during the fall, whether it's night or day, whether there are people watching, all form a coded message about the circumstances surrounding your journey of self-discovery. Finally, the frequency of these dreams increases precisely at times when you most need spiritual guidance, even if you don't consciously recognize this need. Cayce discovered that people going through major life transitions, career changes, relationship breakups, significant losses, experience intense waves of falling dreams. It's as if the universe is preparing your psyche to let go of what no longer serves you and embrace a new version of yourself. When you dream of being chased, the experience goes far beyond simple anxiety or accumulated stress from everyday life. These dreams reveal a disturbing truth that Cayce deciphered after decades of analyzing the human unconscious. You are literally running away from parts of yourself that urgently require attention. The pursuer in your dreams is never truly external. It's always a projection of something internal that you refuse to face in waking life. Decisions postponed out of fear, unprocessed emotional pain, or even karmic shadows from past lives manifest as threatening figures chasing you in the dream realm. The intensity of the fear you feel during the chase is directly proportional to the importance of what you're avoiding confronting. Cayce observed a fascinating pattern. The more violent and desperate the chase in the dream, the greater the transformation that awaits you on the other side of the fear. The pursuer represents rejected aspects of your personality, unhealed traumas, or even spiritual gifts you're afraid to embrace. Every step you take running is, paradoxically, a step away from your own healing and evolution. The setting where the chase takes place holds valuable clues about the nature of what you're avoiding. Being chased in a house signifies unresolved family issues. In a dark forest, it symbolizes primal fears and repressed instincts. In a city, it represents social pressures and external expectations you've internalized. Cayce noted that creative people often dream of being chased in public places, revealing a fear of exposing their talents to the world and facing possible rejection or criticism. The speed of the chase also conveys specific messages about the time you have to make necessary changes in real life. Slow chases suggest that you still have time to gradually address the issues you've been avoiding, while desperate races indicate that life is about to force you to confront these issues, whether you like it or not. Cayce warned that intense and repetitive chase dreams are warnings that the universe is losing patience with your resistance to growth. The dream's ending, whether you escape, are captured, or wake up before the resolution, reveals your current pattern of dealing with challenges. Escaping may indicate that you still have the inner resources to avoid confrontation, but it also suggests that the lesson will be presented again in a more intense way. Being captured, on the other hand, may be the best possible ending. It represents the moment when you finally stop running and prepare to face the truth about yourself. Cayce discovered that people who can turn around and face their persecutor during dreams experience profound and positive changes in their waking lives in the following weeks. This act of dream courage translates into real strength to face problems that previously seemed insurmountable, transforming the persecutor from enemy to ally in the process of self-discovery and inner healing. Flying in dreams may seem like the most liberating and pleasurable experience the dream world has to offer, but Edgar Cayce revealed layers of meaning far deeper than simple escapism or a desire for freedom. For Cayce, each time your soul soars into the heavens during sleep, you are experiencing a visceral reminder of your true spiritual nature, a direct connection to higher dimensions that your waking consciousness rarely accesses. These dreams are temporary portals that allow you to experience the soul's reality outside the limitations of the physical body, offering a glimpse of what is truly possible when we transcend the mental barriers we have constructed. The ease or difficulty you experience flying in your dreams directly reflects your relationship with personal power and spiritual confidence in waking life. Cayce observed that people going through periods of intense spiritual growth often report dreams in which flying becomes progressively easier and more controlled. When you struggle to stay aloft, stumble during flight, or have to rush to take off, this indicates internal resistance and fears that still limit your full spiritual expression. The height you can reach corresponds to the level of spiritual awareness you are currently developing. The landscape you fly through carries specific messages about the areas of life where your soul seeks to expand and grow. Flying over familiar landscapes suggests you're gaining a new perspective on familiar situations, seeing them from a higher, wiser perspective. Flying over unfamiliar places indicates your soul is exploring uncharted territories of possibility and potential. Cayce often interpreted night flights as journeys through past lives or astral dimensions, while day flights represented insights and inspirations reaching waking consciousness. The presence of others during your dream flights reveals important information about your spiritual connections and karmic relationships. Flying alone can indicate a period of individual spiritual development and deep self-discovery, while flying with someone else suggests you're sharing evolutionary journeys with other souls. Cayce noted that couples and families with deep karmic connections often report synchronized dreams where they fly together, indicating they're working through collective spiritual issues on non-physical levels. The physical sensation you experience during flight, whether it's smooth and natural or awkward and forced, reflects your current level of alignment with higher spiritual purposes. Fluid and pleasurable flights indicate that you're in harmony with your soul's mission and following the right path for growth. Turbulent or interrupted flights suggest internal conflicts between ego desires and soul callings, signaling that adjustments are necessary to restore spiritual balance. Cayce emphasized that dreams of flight are gifts from higher consciousness, reminders that your essence was not born to be bound by earthly limitations, but to constantly elevate itself, even when facing the difficulties of human experience. Each dream flight is a practical lesson that you possess within you the power to transcend any obstacle simply by remembering and trusting the limitless nature of your true soul. False chases and flights don't just happen in your dreams, they form a secret, sophisticated language your soul uses to communicate with your conscious mind. Edgar Cayce spent decades deciphering this dream code and discovered that dreams function as urgent letters sent by the spirit, translating into visual symbols and intense emotional experiences what we can't hear during the day. When you learn to interpret this language, each night of sleep becomes a free spiritual therapy session where you receive direct guidance on issues your rational mind can't yet fully process. But here's the question that could change everything. How many vital messages from your soul have you ignored simply because you didn't know that your most disturbing dreams were actually your greatest treasures of wisdom? Most people wake from intense dreams of falling, chasing, or flying, and quickly dismiss them as just weird dreams, missing precious opportunities for self-discovery and healing. Cayce discovered that these three specific types of dreams carry the most important messages our higher consciousness can send. functioning as urgent alerts about our spiritual and emotional direction. The genius of this symbolic language lies in its ability to bypass the mental defenses we build during wakefulness. While awake, you can rationalize, deny, or minimize important problems. But during sleep, the soul utilizes direct sensory and emotional experiences that completely bypass these resistances. A dreamlike fall makes you viscerally feel the instability you may not consciously admit you're experiencing. A chase forces you to experience the fear you may be suppressing. A flight allows you to experience the freedom your soul knows it deserves, even if your conscious mind believes otherwise. Cayce observed fascinating patterns in how these messages intensify when they are not understood or heeded. People who ignore falling dreams often begin to experience more dramatic and frequent falls until they finally heed the imbalance their soul is signaling. Those who flee from pursuit dreams find that their pursuers become more threatening and persistent, reflecting the growing urgency to confront avoided issues. And individuals who fail to heed the lessons of flight dreams may find that these dreams become rarer, as if the soul temporarily gives up revealing unacknowledged possibilities. The timing of these dreams is also part of the soul's language. They tend to appear at times of transition, important decisions, or when you're unconsciously preparing for significant changes. Cayce noted that dreams of falling often precede periods of major personal transformation, serving as psychic preparation for letting go of old patterns. Dreams of chasing arise when you're avoiding decisions you know you need to make, and dreams of flying appear when your soul wants to encourage you to embrace new possibilities that might seem impossible to your rational mind. Deciphering them completely is like accessing a detailed map for your self-knowledge, where each symbol, emotion, and scenario offers specific clues about your current spiritual state and the directions your soul is trying to show you. When you master this language, you'll never feel lost or unguided again, because you always have access to an inner advisor who knows exactly what you need to grow and evolve. Each of these archetypal dreams also carries deep connections to your personal karma, revealing layers of meaning that transcend the current life and delve into the soul's accumulated experiences across multiple lifetimes. Edgar Cayce, with his unique ability to access the Akashic records, discovered that dreams of falling often reflect old spiritual debts that continue to weigh on you, like echoes of past choices that still need to be balanced. When you repeatedly fall in your dreams, you may be experiencing the karmic memory of literal or metaphorical falls from other lives, perhaps an abuse of power, a betrayal of trust, or moments where you allowed your ego to override spiritual wisdom. Being chased in dreams can be a direct echo of mistakes made in previous incarnations that are returning to be repaired and healed in this life. The pursuer represents not only rejected aspects of the current personality, but also victims of past actions, seeking resolution and forgiveness. Cayce observed that people with intense dreams of being chased often carry deep karmic guilt, even if they have no conscious recollection of having harmed anyone in this lifetime. The feeling of terror during the chase is proportional to the weight of the spiritual debt, and the only way to stop these dreams is to courageously face the lessons they bring. Dream flights, on the other hand, can be signs of spiritual achievements accumulated in previous lives, moments where you used your gifts to serve the greater good and raised your consciousness to higher levels. A natural ability to fly in dreams may indicate that you were a healer, spiritual teacher, or wise leader in previous existences, and these developed abilities remain available in your soul. Cayce often explained that people with recurring dreams of flying carry memories of lives where they achieved high levels of spiritual development and can access this ancestral knowledge when needed. The invisible manifests during sleep precisely because it is in this state that the barriers between dimensions become more permeable, allowing ancient karmic influences to emerge to be processed and healed. Each night offers a sacred opportunity to work through issues that may have originated hundreds or thousands of years ago, but which still affect your current life in subtle ways. Intense dreams are often signs that the appropriate cosmic moment has arrived to resolve these issues, that astrological and spiritual circumstances have aligned to allow for this profound healing. The repetition of these archetypal dreams throughout life follows specific karmic patterns. Cayce discovered that dreams of falling tend to intensify during the years preceding major lessons of humility and surrender. Dreams of persecution arise in waves when old karmic victims are closing in on you, sometimes literally, sometimes through situations that recreate old dynamics for opportunities for mutual healing. Dreams of flying become more frequent when you are ready to take on greater spiritual responsibilities, indicating that your soul is preparing to express gifts developed in previous lifetimes. Understanding these karmic connections completely transforms the dreaming experience, revealing that each night is an opportunity to actively participate in your multidimensional spiritual evolution. Dreams cease to be passive experiences and become active energy work, where you can consciously collaborate with higher forces to heal the past, transform the present, and prepare a higher future for your soul. The greatest secret Edgar Cayce revealed about these powerful dreams lies not only in understanding their meanings, but in knowing exactly how to transform each dream experience into a transformative force for your waking life. Instead of waking up in fear or discomfort, you can learn to receive these dreams as precise instructions and practical guidance that, when followed, dramatically accelerate your spiritual and emotional growth. The key is to develop a conscious and intentional response to each type of dream, creating bridges between the dream dimensions and your physical reality to maximize the lessons they offer. When you wake up from a falling dream, instead of simply feeling relieved that it was just a dream, use those first moments of awareness to actively seek emotional and spiritual stability in your waking life. Cayce suggested specific exercises. Take 3 deep breaths, place your bare feet on the floor to reconnect with the earth, and take an honest inventory of the areas of your life where you feel insecure or out of balance. The dream fall then becomes an internal alarm that motivates you to take practical steps to create more financial, emotional, or spiritual stability before greater imbalances manifest. Upon awakening from chased dreams, the transformative protocol involves asking a courageous and direct question: what exactly am I avoiding facing in my life? Cayce found that people who ask this question immediately after chased dreams and write down the answer that emerges spontaneously without censorship receive profound insights that accelerate resolutions that might otherwise take months or years to unfold naturally. The chaser transforms from enemy to teacher when you stop running away and begin actively investigating the lessons it offers. For flying dreams, transformation occurs through active gratitude and intentional strengthening of spiritual connection. Cayce recommended that people with flying dreams spend a few minutes after waking in meditation or prayer, giving thanks for the reminder of their elevated spiritual nature and asking for guidance on how to express these higher gifts in practical life. Dream flight then becomes a catalyst for courageous actions that you might not consider without this confirmation of your higher spiritual capabilities. Consistently applying these practices completely transforms your relationship with your dreams. Instead of experiences that happen to you, they become active tools of transformation that you consciously use to accelerate your evolution. Cayce observed that people who consistently follow these protocols begin to experience progressively clearer and more instructive dreams, as if the unconscious recognizes and rewards the conscious attention being paid to its messages. The most powerful aspect of this approach is that it creates a positive feedback loop between the conscious and unconscious dimensions. When you demonstrate that you take dreams seriously and act on their guidance, your soul responds by offering even more specific and practical guidance. Vague and confusing dreams give way to crystal clear messages, clear symbols, and even direct verbal guidance during sleep. Cayce always emphasized that dreams are merely a compass. They show you the direction, but you are the one who decides to walk in that direction and take the necessary actions. Real transformation happens when you become an active collaborator with your soul, using each night as an opportunity to receive guidance and each day as a chance to implement this higher wisdom into concrete actions that elevate your life to entirely new levels. Now that you've discovered the truly shocking meaning of these dreams and how Edgar Cayce deciphered the secret codes of the soul, a disturbing reality becomes clear. How many times has your higher consciousness desperately tried to speak to you while you slept, and you simply ignored the most important messages in your life? Each falling dream you dismissed may have been a warning about imbalances that are still sabotaging your progress. Each ignored dream chase may represent missed opportunities for healing and growth that your soul continues to try to offer. Don't let any more precious messages go unnoticed, because your spiritual evolution may literally depend on how attentive you are to these nocturnal codes. If this content has revolutionized your understanding of the hidden power of dreams, show it by liking this video, sharing it with someone you know who also experiences intense dreams of falling, being chased, or flying, and subscribe to the channel by activating the bell so you don't miss any secrets that can transform your life. In future videos, we will delve even deeper into the hidden mysteries of the soul, revealing other transformative secrets discovered by Edgar Cayce that can completely revolutionize your spiritual journey.